Loveland Magazine TV videos are brought to you by the generous support of MoveToLoveland.com.
Sorry. Can I
Go ahead.
I wanted to explain.
Sure, yeah.
Thanks for the reason, but I wanted to explain the reason that we're here tonight is that we are formally asking for a review. We were here before, just as in a conversation, which was we were advised to present it not formally but informally. So the reason that we're here tonight is that we are formally submitting this. And the reason that we submitted this drawing is that we were encouraged by some city officials that are not willing to step forward that we should submit this. And we should get specific feedback for if this isn't approved, we need to understand why.
Okay.
And not, when we were here before, we started talking about overlay districts that don't exist and locations for it would be nice if it was down the street or around, just stuff that's not real. So we're here tonight to be real and to ask for your feedback. And if I'm not, that it's not just, we're supposed to look like something within a block, but it's the whole block. It's not, it's
projects.
the whole block, okay? The whole downtown. And when we have stakeholders that have been in Loveland and have invested in Loveland that are in favor of it, including the neighbor, the next door neighbor, the person that got approval at 115.
Did you approach him?
Dale Eads. I'm talking about stakeholders that are real, honest. They're all in, and we're all in too. So just specifics is what I guess I'm going to say. And explain why we're here tonight, not.
Well, you'll be able to leave with suggestions or, anyway.
I expect.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to end that portion of it, and then we're going to talk amongst ourselves. Does anybody on the board have any comments?
I think the one, can you hear me? Is my mic on? Okay. I think the one thing that really stands out to me through the whole presentation from the John Hill contingent tonight is that your immediate neighbors to those parcels have been completely, at least as far as your presentation, completely ignored. Every image, every reference to other buildings, none of them, there was not one picture shown of the quaint, attractive cottages that surround those parcels. You referenced visuals of, as Katie said, only commercial buildings, and none that are immediately surrounding. And what you're asking, and everybody keeps referencing, the new, yet to be constructed building by the Monkey Bar folks. And so I feel like what you're asking for us is to set aside the buildings that are closest and would be most affected by this building, and even the others on railroads surrounding the new Monkey Bar building that's not even up yet, in favor of that one building, in favor of buildings that are further away, in favor of buildings that are on the other side of the river. And even if the list of individuals you had who were in favor of this, I guess my question, is there anybody on that list who lives within that block on Railroad Avenue, not who owns it, who collects rent from it, but who lives there? And I guess the other, we talked about this when we had extensive debate about the Monkey Bar property, and we talked about this area is unique. It's unique because it sits across from Bisbee Park. It's unique because it serves as a transition from the city of Loveland to the nature of the park. And I think that it is a small area, but it is significant in its uniqueness and its role in Loveland's character and its culture.
Do you mind if I speak?
Sure.
I mean, so we want to match the most historic buildings of Loveland. I'm aware that it doesn't match the buildings that are close to ours. I'm aware of that. We want to build a historic building. But I don't think that those buildings on Railroad are historic. How could you guys think that they're historic buildings? This is the historical planning and preservation. You're historically planned. We want to plan as historically as possible, right? So why pick simple homes like that when we can look at the history of Loveland and pick out the greatest buildings of Loveland and replicate that? Why wouldn't they want to head that direction? That's the direction we want to head. We just want it to look great.
I would say that the building, the cottages that are down there are historic. There are some that are modern, okay? There's some that were built 10 years ago, okay? But the majority of the ones that are there are older than 50 years old and would be considered historic. My feeling in this is the guidelines tell us that you have to build something that's similar to in height and scale as what you're next to. And you're comparing structures all over town, and not that it's a bad design or it's not a structure that that would be okay at a different location, but you're not comparing anything right next to you. And I know the monkey bar hasn't been built yet, but it's still not even next to this property. I would encourage you to give us a design of something that's 2 stories in size and in scale, that fits in with the houses that are down there. You know, and that's kind of what we told you at the last meeting. You know, when you want specifics, I can't design it for you, but that's what you know, this property. The historic district has been in effect for a while, and the guidelines have been here for a while, and it has to match what's there. I mean, that's my view. That's not, I don't know if that's the other view of the people on the board, but that's what the guidelines tell us we're supposed to do. Unless they're changed and we do something differently, the city hasn't given us that direction. You know, we have to go by what the guidelines say. So I don't know. Does anybody else have any?
I do have a comment. And I'm going to echo what Mary Ann has said. I do not see, excuse me, I do not see a view that would represent what the neighbors would see when they look out their window or door. I see a front view, I see a business view, I see the street views, but I don't see what the residents would see. When I open my front door, if I live behind there, I want to know what I'm looking at. Am I seeing just a big big white or brown brick wall? Is that what I'm looking at? Am I looking at a rooftop that I can't see over any longer, that's actually taller than all of the trees in the area? I don't get to see that. I would like to see those views in order to make actual assessment. And massing, we did talk about massing the last time that you were here. It did not fit character. We did tell you that it's quite tall. It's 41 feet 4 inches tall. That is 3 times taller than every other structure that's back there, except for a 2-family, which is only 2 times taller. But still, that's quite a bit taller. Might not be quite 2, thinking of the gable roof, it might go up to 30 if it was a 2-story structure with an attic. But the massing is out of character. I don't want to address any of the zoning issues or things that would take away the transfer of property over to you that was discussed when we started, but that's a different issue. Those are the types of things that I would have expected to see. What are the residents going to see when they look out of their houses? And today I hear fear from our residents that they'll see something that they don't know about yet. I also, from our own guidelines, I am looking specifically at the massing. I can't go another block over, so if I look just within the block itself, the block is a residential block. And yes, catty corner in the adjacent block is a structure that was approved, I think, last year, around this time for the Railroad Avenue, Dave, is that right? For the, one Railroad Avenue, is that right, or 2 Railroad Avenue, where the new restaurant and the bar is supposed to go in?
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah. That's further away than the house that would be right next to your structure, by quite a distance. And I hear what you said about the approval of the individual that is at the property right adjacent to you, right next door to you. But as Mariana or Randy indicated, do they actually live there? Is that part of their residence? Do they reside there, and is that something that they want to come out to every day? Or is it just an